Venerable members of the Mahasangha, friends in the Dhamma. Now the time is very important. We are going to share merits with your departed relatives. Now at this moment, you did a very special meritorious act, offering dana to the Mahasangha. According to Buddhist tradition, there are three meritorious deeds that we do: generosity, virtue, and mental culture or bhavana. By doing these activities, we acquire positive thoughts in our mind and we share these merits with our departed relatives. When someone is with us, we can help them from hand to hand, physically, materially. When someone passed away, we have no any physical connection. We can do only what we are doing here, acquiring positive thoughts in our mind. We share these merits with our departed relatives. Especially, the purpose is very clear. You hope to transfer these merits to your beloved departed parents, grandparents, Mr. 𝒮𝓃 and Lakshmi 𝒮𝓃. As grateful children, friends, and relatives, you are doing this very special meritorious act. You show your gratitude. According to Buddhism, gratitude is one of the main qualities in our spiritual life. Buddhism says all good qualities depend on gratitude. Gratitude is one of the main qualities. Whatever we do in the name of good deeds in our life, foundation is gratitude. When we are grateful, immediately we come to the next quality, which is generosity. That is the thing that you are doing here. We do all things in the name of happiness. Happiness completely depends on purification of our mind. When mind is pure, our activities are correct, then results are fruitful. Whenever our mind is impure, our activities are incorrect, the results are negative, suffering follows us. If we do something with a pure mind, happiness follows us because of our pure mind. On this spiritual path, very first quality is that gratitude. The next quality is that generosity. When we are generous, we meet good friends who practice spiritual life. That is very important. Especially when you offer something to the Mahasangha, you have a very special chance to listen to what the Blessed One explained. The Supreme Buddha completely explained the way how we purify our mind. Here we should understand what are the negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. There are three unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. They are greed, anger, and delusion. Whenever we are greedy, actually we have no real happiness. Whenever we are angry, we have no real happiness. When we are ignorant, we have no real happiness. In this situation, on the path of liberation, we have to purify our mind from these negative thoughts, craving, anger, and delusion. All the activities that Buddhism has explained focusing on reducing these negative thoughts from our mind. The more we purify our mind from these negative thoughts, the more our mind is pure and the more we are happier. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone who was born in this world. In this situation, we should understand the path of purification of our mind. Buddhism says, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃, purifying one's mind. All the doctrines that Buddhism has explained for 45 years can be summarized into one sentence, which is purifying one's mind. Our success depends on our happiness. Our happiness depends on purification of our mind. By doing these activities, we purify our mind from negative thoughts. In this moment, your mind is so pure and calm. Your mind has beautiful mental formations at this moment. Beautiful mental formations. It says, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃. When our mental formations are very beautiful, our activities are correct, then happiness follows us. That is why we should do these kind of activities, especially when we remember our parents. We are so grateful. When they are with us, we help them, we take care of them. Since 𝒪තා පිතෝ උපට්ඨානං ēතං මංගලමුත්තමං, helping our parents is a supreme blessing. When we take care of our parents, they bless us. We can develop positive thoughts in our mind. After they passed away, from time to time, we practice these kind of activities, and also we share these merits with our departed relatives, especially with our departed parents. That is the thing that you are doing here. You can be happy, especially as grateful children and grandchildren, you are doing these activities. And also, we are discussing the path of liberation. Very first quality is gratitude. The second one is generosity. And also, when we are generous, we are appreciated, we are honored in the society. The more we practice generosity, the more we are honored in the society. Practicing generosity is one of the ways that we can make friends. And also, when we are generous, we meet good association, noble association. Through good association, we listen to path of liberation. The path is very clear. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means discipline in our speech and behavior, and Samadhi means concentration or practicing loving kindness meditation, and finally mindfulness. Practicing 5 precepts, loving kindness meditation, and mindfulness is the path of liberation. Discipline, virtue or moral conduct, practicing 5 precepts is very important in Buddhist tradition. They are abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from foul speech, and abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. If someone can practice these 5 qualities, actually these qualities don't belong to Buddhism. These qualities belong to the persons who are seeking inner peace, harmony, peace, peaceful life. You know, if your children, your relatives, your friends practice these 5 qualities, you can associate any people without doubt, without fear. Because we know very well, they don't kill beings, and they don't steal, they don't have sexual misconduct, and also they tell truth. In this situation, if we want to go on the path of liberation, discipline in our speech and behavior, especially practicing 5 precepts, is the fearless path. If someone can practice these 5 precepts, it means he gives the fearlessness to the world. That is very important. With this understanding and practicing sila or virtue, we come to the next level, which is practicing loving kindness meditation or metta bhavana. We contemplate on thus may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. What is the purpose of practicing loving kindness meditation? The purpose of practicing loving kindness meditation is to reduce anger. You know, Anger is one of the main reasons that disturb our peace of mind. If we are angry, everything that we earned is useless, since we have no real happiness because of anger. And also, the one who can make you angry will become your master. If a person can make you angry very soon, are we successful? No, we should be proud of that. No one can make me angry. That is our skill. That is our success. Let's live happily without anger among the people, those who are angry. This is our success. If someone can make you lustful very soon, he or she will become your master. It means you are controlled by outside persons and things. And also finally, the highest quality that Buddhism has explained for our inner peace is that mindfulness, being aware of our body and mind, living in the present moment. We mostly live in the past experience. Practicing mindfulness helps us to live in the present moment. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, we understand, we are mindful that the nature of our mind. What happens to my mind? When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, when we taste something, if we are mindful, we understand what happens to my mind at the moment. If we have no mindfulness, it means we are controlled by the outside world. Buddhism completely explains the path of liberation, the path of freedom, the path of emancipation. Emancipation, liberation, freedom or enlightenment completely depends on mindfulness. When we are mindful, we are not controlled by the outside world, since we immediately know that what happens to my mind at the moment, since we live in the present moment. Normal people, ordinary people always look at outside world, but the spiritual person always look at inside. What happens to my mind when I see something, when I hear something, when I smell something? Mindfulness is the best friend. Mindfulness gives us the freedom. And mindfulness is the way how we take care of our mind. We always take care of our physical body, our children, relatives, other things. But unfortunately, we mostly don't take care of our mind. Practicing mindfulness is the way how we take care of our mind. Why is that? Especially we should take care of our mind. Mind decides whether we are happy or unhappy. Practicing mindfulness helps us to keep our mind pure and calm. When our mind is angry, we immediately understand, now my mind has anger. When mind is greedy, we immediately understand, now my mind has greed. When mind has conceit, jealousy, or any other negative thoughts, we immediately understand, now my mind has these kind of negative thoughts. When we are mindful, mind has no space for negative thoughts, they go away. And finally, the highest quality that we should develop is that wisdom. As the result of practicing mindfulness, we develop our wisdom. The opposite of ignorance. What is the wisdom? Wisdom means what happens to our mind when we see something. When we see something, when we hear something, we mostly think that there is something outside. When we experience something, we think, I experience something which is in the present moment. Actually, it is not correct. For an example, when we eat something, when you taste something which has in your mouth, you mostly look at the plate. Looking at the plate, we are tasting something. When you taste something, you think that the food that I am tasting is in the plate. Is it true? At this moment, if you are tasting something, that food is in your mouth. It is not in your plate. Our entire life is like that. When you look at something outside world, this outside world is like the plate or food in the plate. When we go somewhere, we always look at front, but we are here. When you drive, always you look at front, but your car, you are in the wheels, you are back. But always we look at front. Like that, when we see something, the very first experience, our eye form eye consciousness. This very first experience has ceased. When we experience something, we understand everything through our mind consciousness. It doesn't mean that there is no material world. Actually, there is a material world which consists with four fundamental elements. Water element, fire element, air element. Like that. There is a material world which consists with four fundamental elements. We can contact something at the present moment, but the very important thing, when we understand, when we recognize it, we recognize everything through our mind consciousness. When we recognize something through our mind consciousness, the form has already ceased. If we have this experience, no one can control us. This is the liberation, this is wisdom. If we can keep our attention in the present moment, and also when we experience something, if we know that the very first experience has already ceased, I recognize everything through my mind consciousness, then we depend on our own mind, which is wisdom or mindfulness. This is the highest quality that helps us to liberate from all the sufferings. We start our spiritual journey from gratitude. When we are grateful, we practice generosity. When we practice generosity, we meet good friends who explains the path, and also we meet the real path, virtue, loving kindness meditation, and mindfulness. Finally, we understand my best friend is mindfulness. We always look at friends, best friends from the outside world. Actually, those friends may change any time. They may go away. They may angry with us. But the real best friend that we make inside is ours. We are always with our best friend with mindfulness. It means we have the liberation. We have no negative thoughts when we have this understanding, since we immediately understand negative thoughts come to our mind. Finally, we maintain our highest qualities in one side, practicing loving kindness meditation, on the other side, mindfulness. As the result of practicing loving kindness meditation, contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. The highest attitude of practicing loving kindness meditation is that when we meet a person, we think that person like our only son or daughter. 𝒮𝓇𝒾 ℒ𝒶𝓃. When you are near your only son or daughter, are you greedy? Do you have conceit? Are you jealous? Are you angry? No. When we have a child, we are so peaceful, we are generous, we have sympathetic joy, we are so peaceful, we have compassion. If we can keep our mind in this situation, it means our mind is so beautiful. As the result of our pure mind, we develop our inner peace, happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. These 5 qualities, gratitude, generosity, practicing 5 precepts, loving kindness meditation, finally mindfulness. These 5 qualities don't belong to any religion. These 5 qualities belong to the person who is seeking inner peace, happiness. In this situation, anyone can practice these qualities. You are so grateful, people, relatives and friends. That is why you are doing these wonderful, meritorious activities. As a result of your good qualities, you can go far in this path, spiritual path. For that, on behalf of Mahasangha, I wish you all the best. By the power of this spiritual activity that you are performing, offering dana to the Mahasangha, may your departed relatives, especially your beloved father, Mr. Siri Vitarana, your grandfather, your relative friend, and Lakshmi Vitarana, your grandma, your mom, your relative, and other relatives who passed away, if they are needing merits, spiritual support, may they receive this spiritual energy, may they enhance their spiritual life, may they have blissful life, and finally, may they attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share this merit with our departed relatives, pouring the water to the empty cup, reciting the gatha stanza, Pali verse. Idamme ඤාතීනං hotu sukhita hontu ඤාතයෝ. Idamme ඤාතීනං hotu sukhita hontu ඤාතයෝ. Idamme ඤාතීනං hotu sukhita hontu ඤාතයෝ. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sagarang evameva ito dinnang petanang upakappati unname udakang vattang yatha ninnang pavat evameva ito dinnang petanang upakappati. Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, you can be happy, and you performed a very wonderful spiritual meritorious act, offering dana to the Mahasangha. Mr. Omar, Dr. 𝒮𝓾, you can be happy with your parents, relatives. At your home, you did a very special meritorious act. You can be happy for a long time thinking about this meritorious act. We really appreciate your generosity and gratitude. By the power of this spiritual energy, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May all your spiritual goals meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the supreme bliss of liberation, Nibbana.